You are listening to Finessing the Essay, a podcast where New Design High School students share their stories about crafting their personal essays for their college applications.
Hi, my name is Gabriella, and I'm hosting for the DFL essays. What are your names?
My name is Yocetslie.
And my name is Leslie.
Okay, we're gonna be talking about your essays. Well, let's start off with what is your story about?
My story was about like the death of my grandma and like how that just affected me emotionally.
And my story is about immigrating to America.
Okay, what the lesson did you have learned? Like, what lesson have you learned?
The lesson I learned is to appreciate like the sacrifices my parents did for me.
And I learned like to never give up.
That's good. How would you describe yourself at the beginning of the story?
Well, at the beginning of my story, you could say I was a little more immature and like I didn't really know. I was more clueless. But then at the end, I started realizing the things that were happening around me.
I
Okay.
will also say I was like immature since I was talking about my childhood.
Mm-hmm. Like, how did you feel writing about it?
I was kind of excited to talk about my story, like how I came here.
Was it like were you nervous? Were you excited? Like, were you like? It's like, what emotion were you feeling?
Excited, but at the same time nervous.
How had you changed by the end of the story?
I think I became like more mature, I'll say.
What about you?
I think I became more independent.
More independent. Okay. Now the next question is, what was the writing process like for this essay?
Well, for me, I personally drafted a lot and I made my family review it and they just gave me feedback and I used that.
What about you?
I also drafted it a lot, and I asked like for my parents some advices to give it to me, so like I could write the story.
Why did you choose the story that you did?
I chose the story I chose because I feel like for me personally, I think it helped me realize what I wanted to do in my future. And I feel like it made my pathway more clear.
That's good. What advice would you give to your peers who might be struggling with their essay?
Um, I would say like to think back again and like to do more draftings, so they could like improve more.
That's good. What about you?
I say to like definitely think back at what impacted you most in life.
Okay, now how do you feel with the whole college, everything with college? Like the end of 11th grade is college, college, college. How do you feel?
It's just like so stressful.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Well, for me, it's very stressful and it's like nerve wracking because you don't know like you're. It's like it determines your future in a way.
Yeah. How do you feel about like researching colleges?
Well, I feel like you have to be careful and like definitely do a lot of research because you have to know like what you're getting yourself into.
What has been challenging?
For colleges.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe the college essay
The
or like passing your tests, like for
college.
example the SAT. Like
Yeah, it's hard.
it is.
It's definitely is hard. Like just sitting there, you don't get like a review for the SATs unless you go SAT prep.
Yes.
But like, how do you feel? Like, are you guys finished with your essays?
I did.
You did? Well, for me, I think I have to go back and see if it's like the way I wanted it to be.
What lessons have you like? Do you feel like you become more mature because of those lessons that you learned?
Yes.
Yeah.
For me too, I think I've definitely become more mature.
Okay, so like anything from like what advice would you give somebody in the beginning of college application processes?
Maybe to think twice before deciding something.
I feel like definitely do a lot of research.
Where do you see yourselves in 5 years?
In college.
Well, for me, I think close to graduating. Yeah.
Are you trying to stay in New York or are you trying to leave New York?
Live New York.
Where you want to go?
Boston.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you?
Leave New York.
Where you want to go?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Mexico seems like a good option.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Why would you want to like get out of New York? What's your reason to like you don't want to stay here?
I just don't like. I mean I like the people, but like
The environment?
yeah the.
What about you?
I say the environment is not for me.
I mean, that's good. Where is your dream school?
Harvard
Harvard?
University.
What about you?
I mean, I don't have a dream school, but like it would be nice to get into an Ivy school.
That's good. How do you feel like what would you be telling your ninth grade self?
I'm proud of you.
That's good.
I'll tell myself to not slack off and like don't procrastinate.
Do you feel like there's a difference between you in ninth grade and you in 11th grade?
I would say yes.
That's great. All right, we're done with the questions. How do you guys feel?
I was a little nervous.
A little nervous.
Yeah.
I feel more calmer.
You calmer. Yeah, once I feel like you answered the questions, you're getting relief, and that all that matters. Well, we're done.
You have been listening to Finessing the Essay, a Spark Campus Studio production.